A picture can say 1,000 words. Folks have been saying that phrase since film was first being developed. And I think the point they're driving at is if you look close enough and really study a picture, you'll uncover a story, or maybe even a few of them. To many, a picture of a bison tells a story about our past, about Native Americans, European settlers, the Great Plains, war, survival, how things used to be. And for most, a touch of sadness when we think about how such a magnificent beast was driven so close to extinction. When Oklahoma became a state in 1907, buffalo were nothing more than a memory here, which is strange to think about because at one point North America had tens of millions of bison roaming these lands. That said, while we're a far cry from those kinds of numbers, there are now around 21,000 bison in conservation herds and 420,000 in commercial herds. As of 2022, there are just a handful of states that currently have a lottery tag system that an individual can enter and hopefully be drawn for the opportunity to hunt a bison. But unfortunately, there are plenty of hopeful hunters that have been putting their names in the drawing for many years and never got the golden ticket. Hunting preserves help by giving opportunities to those hunters and also generating more bison on the landscape. With buffalo populations now considered stable and an overall conservation success story, it's a dream come true that my buddy Jeremy and I get to participate in a bison hunt.
When it comes to buffalo hunting, it's like something different. It has like this weird sense about it. When you picture it in your head, you don't picture it as something current.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's like you're going back in time. Like it defines nostalgia in every way.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, when telling people that I'm going on a buffalo hunt, they're all just like, wow, like, what are you gonna use? Like, you know, and then it all brings them back to, you know, 100 years ago when our ancestors hunted buffalo or the Indians hunted buffalo. But yeah, I mean, it's something I've wanted to do my entire life, so I couldn't be more excited. This is
pumped you're here to do it with me, man. Both get one? It'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, meat for days.
For years.
First order of business was to sit down with Dr. Gerald Parsons. He's a veterinarian who specializes in bison. I really brought him in because I'm fascinated by the information he has on bison history. Yeah, I did want to talk to him about proper shot placement, but his take on what really happened is certainly not what I learned in school.
The federal government trying to defeat the Indians, and to do that they had to get rid of their commissary, which was the bison. If you had a bison tongue, they paid you a bounty that for the number of animals you could kill and get rid of. They were shipping a lot of the meat out east in a form of what they call pemphigun. And it was a sport just to set out on the railroad cars and see how many bison you could shoot. So it was a total waste and slaughter.
What are some of the ailments facing the bison now as opposed to in the past?
Then, as well as now, parasites and disease was a major problem.
Would you say that disease was the biggest factor?
It probably killed the most animals.
And that's weird because you don't hear that very often, right? When you hear people talk about them going out, they want to talk about the European settlers, they want to talk about the Native Americans, they want to talk about the people that were hunting them to extinction, but a big part of it really was those diseases and parasites.
They still face them now, the same parasites and the same diseases. For example, sheep carry a disease called malignant catarrhal fever. It may give him a fever for 2 or 3 days, and that's about all it amounts to in a sheep. But in bison, it kills them so fast they can't spread it to other bison.
I am astounded by the impact diseases, parasites, and humanity had on the bison. But I find hope in the fact that conservationists from all walks of life and with a variety of motives have brought the buffalo populations back to stable numbers in North America. That hard work and dedication is what makes my hunt possible and sustainable in this present day.
I'm excited for the hunt, but also a little bit nervous about it. Talk to me about shot placement, where we should be aiming on them.
Would be to shoot through the vitals. The heart or the aorta would be the 2 primary targets you'd shoot for, which should be just behind the elbow and above it, just a little bit, a few inches.
After talking with Dr. Parsons, Jeremy and I parted ways for the first leg of the hunt so we could cover more ground.